Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I just want to do a little intro to say that the video that you're about to see is actually part 2 of the Q&A that I did last night. I did a long video for the Q&A, questions that you guys asked and that I answered. And when I was like halfway through, I was like, I've got to stop this now. So I still have a bunch of footage left that I'm going to show you now, but there was no intro or ending to that one, so I'm doing an intro and I will say bye to you at the end. It's just going to jump right into continuing where I left off. I'll have the link for part 1 in the description box below. So enjoy! What is your biggest fear? I think right now I would have to say I am obsessed with the thought of being killed by a texting driver. And when I'm in the car, every car that's coming in my direction, I feel like they are going to hit me. So I have a very big fear of just being on the road. Do you think that you might go live one day? I have dabbled with trying to do live streaming. And I even put a video out saying, help, can anybody help me figure this out? I don't have the right equipment. Supposedly I should be able to, with my laptop computer, which is not the best quality, be able to do live streaming with that, but I want to do it with my camera and I can't. Somewhere down the road, I would love to try that. It would make me a nervous wreck, but I think, again, like with everything, I would get better at it, or at least get used to it. I don't know if I necessarily get better at things, but I do get used to things. So, what is my favorite quick and easy recipe? I am right now eating low carbs and low sugar. I have been doing that since August, so I'm a meat eater, and any meat, I don't care if it's pork, chicken, steak, I just slice it thin, throw it in a frying pan, toss it around a little bit, maybe with some onion, maybe with some mushroom, whatever. That's what I love to eat. How do I stay so positive? Oh my goodness, I would never have ever dreamed anyone would ask me that. I know it looks like I'm a positive person, and I will say that my depression has been better, and I really think it has a lot to do with the low carb, low sugar. Taking refined carbs and sugars out of my diet helped my head. It really, really did. Because I suffer from depression. I have for many, many years, and I mean, I'm going to say all my life, I just didn't know it because I was a drunk, so it was hard to know I was depressed. I am not always positive, and I do go through phases. It's like, right now I'm doing okay, but there's times where I've had like a whole year and a half, 2 years, where it's like, I can't see anything good about anything. Those are scary times. So let's just hope I stay bubbly. That's what she said. Your personality is so bubbly and easygoing. It's really just all anxiety and great fear that I won't be accepted. It's really what I run on. It's like pure fear and anxiety. Do you ever feel silly talking to yourself in front of the camera? I just think these are the best questions. Okay, here's one thing. My little screen is over here. Well, it's right there. The camera lens is right there. I talk to the lens. In my mind, you are right there. I'm talking to you. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. I am talking to you. And it's funny because somebody was trying to help me, figure out an angle when I was doing my craft vlogs. I want to talk to you guys while I'm crafting. It's about the talking, not the crafting, but it would be nice to be able to have you guys see my hands. And somebody suggested, putting a mirror in front of me and then the camera behind me and recording the mirror. And I thought, I would be talking to myself in a mirror. I can't even imagine anything more dreadful. It's like I need you in front of me, not big full-size me, certainly not in a mirror. So if I could travel anywhere in the world, where would I travel to? Again, just not really big on travel. I think I like to see things on TV. It's the easy way to travel. But I mean, if I had to go someplace, I would like to go someplace very old. I think I like history. So, you know, maybe some ruins somewhere would be kind of cool. But what colors have I had my hair? Every color. Every color. You know, from very broken, bleached blonde that, you know, I was afraid was all going to fall out of my scalp to jet black. And everything in between. I've even had like 3 or 4 colors in one day because I just wasn't satisfied. Oh, I'll go get another one. Go get another one. Yeah, so a lot of colors. If one of my followers saw me out, would I want them to say hi? You know, it's funny because I suffer from great social anxiety, but I have run into a lot of people in the stores who know me for the couponing, and I've always been happy to have them come up and say hi to me. I still freak out because it's like they'll hug me, and you know, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm hot and sweaty. You know, they're gonna think I'm horrible, you know, or did I say something stupid? But the thing is that I just liked being able to meet somebody who says I helped them in some way. And I know what it was like because I felt that way about the couponers that I learned from, and it was like I admired them and idolized them. And it's like, oh my goodness, if you're gonna come up to me in a store, yes, of course I was happy about that, but I ain't going out for coffee with you or anything. That sounds so awful. But people do, they'll be like, oh, I'll be coming through town, you know, we could get together, and it's like, oh my God, don't they know that I hate people? No. I just suffer a lot with social anxiety. I just do, and it prevents me from doing a lot of things, and I'm sure it is the reason that I drank almost all my adult life, because I didn't know how to cope with anything. I thought it said, what got you into the tub? And I was like, what got you into YouTube? I was like, oh my God, I haven't been in a tub in a long time. It's not getting in the tub. It's what got you out of the tub. Oh, I didn't know I was going to have this much fun reading questions. I like doing this late night stuff because I'm so deliriously tired. So again, what got me into YouTube? Just the desire to do something completely out of my comfort zone. How did I start crafting? Oh, my mother and grandmother, just as a very little girl. I mean, I just don't even remember learning how to do crafts. I just know I did them. So I was very lucky that I had a grandmother and mother who both sewed, knit, crochet, did all kinds of things. My mother was the kind of person who would let me sit at the table and play with all kinds of things, you know, let me bake stuff that she would actually put in the oven and bake that I'm sure, you know, she threw in the toilet after because it was so horrible. But so I was always allowed to experiment, and, you know, so I give them credit for that. Can you make the daily updates appear at about the same time daily? Now, what this person is asking is, I have started just like when I am awake and showered and dressed, so I'm somewhat presentable. I've been coming on and doing just like a 2-3 minute YouTube clip saying, this is what my plans are for today. And I kind of like that because it gives me a goal, and I've told you what I plan on doing, so then I have to do it, right? But to make it appear at the same time daily, I can't promise things like that because, you know, there's times that I just sleep really late because I'm up really late, or I can be very lazy about having my coffee and getting dressed. So, will you and your husband live together in the future? I don't think so. Now, right now he's unemployed because he left his job because he is a drunk, and I don't think he is going to ever work again. I really don't. I will be surprised if he gets a job. Don't expect it. He's in Houston. He's currently living with a brother. When he quit his job, I told him absolutely he could come here, and he said, yes, I'll come. And, you know, you can certainly come back and live with me, but you can't drink or smoke. So, of course he chose the booze and the cigarettes because that's what alcoholics do. So I'm fine with that. You know, it's what he wants to do. You know, it would have been nice to, you know, maybe have it go a different way, but it's going the way it's going. You know, the alcohol is doing a toll on him, so he's lost a lot of his intelligence. I mean, he just, you know, I don't know if you've ever been around an alcoholic, but it gets to the point where they don't remember anything and they just are not smart anymore, and it just fries their brain. So I am very glad that I was able to quit drinking, because I think if I would have continued the way I was going, I would be dead now. Can I do a house tour? Which piles of mess would you like to see first? The house is, it's an old house, and I like this house, but I'm somewhat a tiny, tiny bit of a hoarder. Nothing like you see on TV, but I could certainly get that way, I think, if I let myself. Can you do stories about your childhood? I will. I have, and I can. How am I feeling today? I'm feeling okay right now. And my favorite animal, I guess I'm going to have to go with dogs. I love cats too, but we've always had dogs. This is the first time in my life that I don't have a pet of my own because I travel and my mother's old now. So it's like the last dog that I had put down, it was just going to have to be the last dog that we have for now. My goodness, this person sounds like me. Do you have a close relationship with your mom? My mom is 93 and her and I struggled all my life. Very interesting, and I would like to talk about this more in depth at some point. I idolized my mother my entire life, my entire drinking life. When I quit drinking, I started to realize that there were reasons that I was drinking. So I've spent the past 15 years trying to recover from the childhood that I had. I didn't know it was as crappy as it was. I mean, that's hard to say. Let's put it this way. We struggle too, in many ways, and it's hard. It's very hard. And I know that it's very rare that someone has a perfect life, a perfect childhood, a perfect relationship with their mother. I don't know. Does that exist? It probably does. Every day is a struggle, and every day I try just a little bit harder to, I've got to get past that, or I've got to overlook that. But it's hard. It is hard, and I hold a lot of anger in about my past, and, it's just... I just wish I would have dealt with this a long time ago because I'd probably have peace by now, but I didn't start dealing with it until recently, so I'm not there yet. I think my mother's going to live forever, so we'll probably find peace at some point. Oh, I'm actually going to read just like maybe one or two more, and then I'm going to stop because we have way more than enough here for another whole video or two. So we'll just keep it short. What is my favorite season? Fall. Hands down. It's when the heat is going away and the wind is coming in and cool weather. Love it. My favorite food or meal? Meat. That's it. Meat. Meathead. I'm a meathead. Do I have children? Grandchildren. I have one son, Derek, who is 38. And I have one granddaughter, Skylar, who I absolutely adore. I adore my son, too, but boy, that grandchild is super special. I have got to tell you guys a story about that, too. I have a lot of stories. Skylar is 7. She'll be 8 in August, and I am hoping to have her this summer. I have her every summer, and I just can't wait. What made me move to Maine? I did not move to Maine. I was born and raised here in Maine. I remember you saying you used to live in the H. What is the H? Houston? Is that what they mean? I moved to Houston for 3 years to be with my husband, and then we moved back. So even though I strayed for 3 years, I feel like I'm a lifelong Mainer. And even when I moved there, I was still like responsible for my parents. So I used to, like every 3 months, I would fly back to Maine and stay for a month and do things like, stock up on their groceries, take the dog to the vet, take them to appointments, things like that. And then, so I did that for 3 years back and forth. And then we finally moved back. Very grateful that my husband did that for me, brought me here so I could be with my dad. And those were the best 2 years I had with my father. So I'm very, very lucky that I got that. I think I'm going to stop there. Oh, let's do one more. How old am I? I'm 55. And I just can't even believe that. It's just, it's very depressing to me. I don't like that I'm getting old because I feel like I never really had a life. I mean, I drank it away. It's terrible. I wish I could start over. How would I spend $1 million? I'm so addicted to these questions. I would buy practically everybody I know whatever they wanted. I would hardly change anything of my own. I would do silly things like I would I would want a one-lane bowling alley. I would like that in my house. I would, in a perfect world, I would be able to stay here in this house and fix it up and bring it back to, what it should look like. And, it's over 100 years old, and I just, would like to just keep it that way. I don't know. It would be hard for me to spend the money on myself, but I certainly would spend it on others. That is it for this Q&A. I still have a lot of questions that didn't get answered, and I will go through them. It's going to be the perfect thing to go to when I don't have anything much to say. Do I ever have anything to say? Nothing important, I don't think. Anyway, I want to thank you once again for all the questions. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know. Should I worry so much about the answers I give. I worry so much. This is like the most stressful job I've ever had. I just worry about everything. And I'm going to tell myself that I am worrying for nothing. I can just get through this. And again, what was my new philosophy? It just doesn't matter. I don't care. I can't remember. Can't even remember my own philosophy. I think it was I just don't care. I don't know. Anyway, thank you again for your questions. Please subscribe. Please give a thumbs up. And I will be back with more very soon. Bye.